Man, I don't know what kind of mutant powers I'd want. Which I've always been partial to mimicry. But I think would really be an awesome power is the seduction of mutant chicks. These girls are hot. What's up, everybody? Metatron Urel here. Welcome back to Nephilim Entertainment. This is my coverage of The Gifted, and this is episode 2, RX. Alright, the Clark family got a little bit of a history when it comes to mutants and turning a blind eye to the situation. Even though Reed is a prosecuting attorney, he has a self-righteousness about him, but yet when there is a little girl in a bowling alley who's getting laughed at and pushed by people, he doesn't do anything about it. See, we found this out on one of their former family outings when they went bowling. This is before the kids were found out to have powers. In fact, Lauren was a little sneaky. She cheated. Cheater. Anyway. I'm okay. Anyway, we find out on a family outing when they went bowling that even though this family is comprised of two said mutants, the family turns a blind eye on persecution. Even though it wasn't a big persecution, they more or less took the sides of the humans as opposed to coming to the mutants' aid. We find that out about their character. Apparently they think that that's okay. So they're getting back to the present day. You got the Clarks and the kids and everybody else with the X group. They're trying to get their wits about them. Apparently, so are the feds. Everybody's starting to get their act together in this way. The feds are led by Turner, and the family right now is led by Caitlyn because Reed is arrested by Turner, or held into custody anyway. So yeah, the family and the X is, what do we call them? The X group? Sounds a little cliche to the X-Men. We'll just call them the X group right now. Keep things simple. X group, the family, they're getting their wits about them. So is the federal agents. Well, we find out Laura is selling into the prison, which ain't doing so good. She's getting spat at, getting sort of those weird looks from her cellmates. I just stated that no matter how many times I tell myself some female prison episodes aren't hot and steamy like they lead you to believe. Just saying. But our girl Blink, even though she rescued the family, is not doing so good. Apparently she is in shock. Who would have thought it? Moving a massive family for the first time apparently will put you into a almost catatonic state. Yeah, learn that one. That's something new to learn. So Lauren apparently found out that her powers can actually help sort of snuff out Blink's powers in a way. So while Claire and Marcus are off gathering meds, going on a nice little outing, a little bonding moment, Lauren's left back to patrol everything and keep Blink, I guess, from the brink of death and destruction and what have you. Is it ever easy being a mutant? I swear. Which, even though Claire wasn't too thrilled about, or Caitlyn wasn't too thrilled about this, but what else can you do? You're pretty much the oddball of the group when you don't have any powers to speak of. So Lorna does not. She's not as she seems. I didn't think much about it until this scene, but when she was in there taking a shower, which thumbs up by the way, just saying, thumbs up on that shower scene. Great job. She's in there. She's washing out her hair. Apparently, she dyed her hair to make herself sort of a little bit more conspicuous, which it makes sense. You know, living in a world where mutants are constantly persecuted, and anybody who's even so much as oddly different is persecuted and mistreated and whatnot. And the green hair, Polaris, it works. It works for you, honey. Let's keep it that way, okay? But yeah, they have to go to the hospital to get the meds. Caitlyn and Marcus do. So we go there and we find out that even though some public is willing to help mutants, not everybody feels that way about them. In fact, if anyone's even cited helping mutants, at some point they're put to stop to it. A lot of persecution in that. I'm digging the show so far because it's doing a lot with the persecution factor. It's doing a lot with discrimination. I mean, with the X-Men, they always have the resources. Charles Xavier makes sure all of his little mutants are well taken care of, well looked after. I swear everyone has a medical degree in that house, but here in the real world, or here in not so blessed and pampered world, you know, you find out it's not so easy being a mutant. I mean, even the hospitals are kind of fishy about it, and Caitlyn going in there with Marcus to pose as boyfriend and girlfriend is even called out on a domestic charge because she's got a little bump and scratch on her from whenever Blink's powers went haywire. She almost got hit by a piece of a truck. Okay, look, I understand if a girl walks into a hospital, she's got a bad bruise on her, it does pose a question, but at the same time, he also had a wound too, so what makes you think she didn't retaliate? A lot of girls I know won't stand for it. Just saying. Anyway, yeah, so Caitlyn's actually starting to see a little bit of the prejudice firsthand. And what I mean by firsthand, I mean being associated with the mutants even got her somewhat persecuted. It's almost they're treating her like a leper. Or somebody who's in a state of, oh, are you trapped? Do you need help? Do you need us to help you? Yeah, okay, I'm pretty sure that if a mutant was holding her hostage, she would go, hell! But, you know, stranger things have happened. But she is finding out firsthand what it is like to be prejudiced or persecuted and having prejudiced remarks made against. So maybe this will be a little bit of a learning experience for her. Find out what her kids are possibly going to go through. Meanwhile, Turner, he lost his daughter to the July events. Now, I'm confused. What exactly was this the July event are we talking about? And when he says through a pulse of energy, the only thing I can think of is at the end of X-Men Last Stand, you have Phoenix, who possessed Jean Grey, wipe out half the mutants on Staten Island with her little psychic blast. That's the only thing I can think of. Unless there's something I'm missing, I can't really think of anything else. And I've seen every single X-Men movie they have made. Because there's a lot of ties, apparently, in these TV shows and the movies. So, question is, what are they referring to? But anyway, he is not a big fan of mutants to begin with. In fact, I think he sees all of them as a potential sorry. I think he sees all of them as a potential threat, which does not help their case whatsoever, but he's not in a position to actually treat mutants with kid gloves. He is part of the Sentinel Project. If anyone has seen Days of Future Past, we know Sentinel Project is a big, big, big dark thing. It's not good. Not good. Anyway, so yeah, Polaris, she's not getting any help from prison whatsoever. I mean, look, I told last week my theory on the fact that Polaris, her character is actually the daughter of Magneto. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's used to being the tough girl, especially if, honestly, if she knew who her daddy was, there would be a big, big, big controversy over that. But Polaris to me seems like a character that probably was raised in sort of a prissy kind of lifestyle and then had to eventually start getting tough. And she's starting to come to that place where I think she's starting to realize that she gets a lot more done if she showcases a little muscle. Sass can only get you so far, honey. And especially since you are with child, I would suggest stepping up your A game. But yeah, with all this, the domestic stuff for Caitlyn, the cops are actually called on her. And her and Marcus are actually having to make a mad dash. And it doesn't help the fact that Blink keeps opening up portals and it's attracting attention. So the police is after our little group back at the warehouse. So the police are getting involved on both ends. And it's not pretty. It's not. Because Blink is comatose, or damn near it. You got Caitlyn, who is stuck in a hospital trying to get meds back to Blink. You got the kids, Andy and Lauren, who are trying to prevent any catastrophes from happening. And it's just all becoming a big cluster, and it's not looking good for either groups on both ends. So, what is there to do? Well, Polaris is actually in a state where she's getting her ass handed to her because one girl wants to strut her stuff, and it seems like the big top dog in prison, and she's all scarred up on the face. So I'm just wondering if a mutant didn't show her place at some point, because when Polaris pointed it out, and which by the way, Polaris is her name, that is the name she's going by, and I think it's very, very big on an homage towards her father, who at times refuses to go by Eric. He prefers to go by Magneto because that is his given name, acting like Eric is his slave name, in a way. Or his mortal name, I guess you could say, because anytime he dons the Magneto facade, he acts like he wants to be God. Or at least have a God complex. Lorna, she might have that same complex, but out of the way, she is going by Polaris right now, so probably will refer to her as Polaris from now on, unless it becomes a big controversy over name calling. So with her getting beating, there's a possibility she could have lost her child, and I mean, she's pretty banged up, and even the girls are beating her up with the fact that she has a child to prove to her a point that she's a mutant and she is not meant for this world, apparently. Well, the group ends up having to fight the police, and that's not good, because it's getting bad for these people. Police are coming through the portal. What are we gonna do? And then Blink, apparently she's going into a bigger form of shock, I guess you could say, because now portals are popping up everywhere, and it's looking like just some big reality bending kind of mess going on. And the group don't exactly know what to do, so they start evacuating. And meanwhile, back at the prison, Turner is pointing out all the stops to try to get Reed to talk and tell about the group. And he's even calling his mom in, which is, to me, fighting 30. But Turner is pointing out all the stops, and he will stop at nothing to get this group, and he is threatening to basically not only tear Reed's life apart, but anybody associated with Reed. So things are looking pretty intense for Reed himself. Well, you think this is it for all the groups. But Caitlyn and Marcus make it back, and they actually save the day. Annie volunteered to go and take the meds, but no. Caitlyn and Marcus go in there. They're able to sedate Blink, which Blink finds out later that she was the cause of it, and she was very apologetic, which, honey, it's okay. It's okay. You and them beautiful green eyes, lay back and relax. It's okay. It's just okay. You know, just it's okay. Anyway, Caitlyn wants to give a nice little pep talk to the kids. Says she's ready for a fight. She's ready for a fight. Honey, are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Because not only do you have the United States government, who is completely against mutants, you have them. You have just society as a whole. If you're not a mutant, or aware that you're a mutant, everybody's against mutants. There's very few sympathizers, which I'm sure there is. I'm sure there are sympathizers for the mutant cause, and there's other mutants that are sympathetic. I mean, obviously, the X-Men are a big example of that, which they're missing in this world right now. But I'm just not seeing a lot of sympathizers, so honey, you're going to be fighting with the mutants by yourself in a very small number. And Turner's trying to classify them as a terrorist group, and that is even I know that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing, which Reed calls his bluff. Reed is a very intelligent man. I will give him that. He knows how to work the system. He knows what's up. He knows the law. And he calls Turner's bluff. Gives him exactly what he wants in exchange for his family to get amnesty. A smart move, man. Smart move. Unfortunately, he's going to have to give up the mutant group, the X group. He's going to have to give them up. I just don't see that happening. I mean, not right at first. I don't see it. I mean, I know Reed is looking out for his family, and he's wanting to do everything right by his family, but at the same time, I don't see him actually giving up his whole family. Because I see the X group actually becoming part of his family. Because right now, they're taking care of his wife and kids, and even though for Reed, you know, that's might be a given, at the same time, they don't have to. They could have kicked him out in the street and said, you know what, be gone. You help Blink? Alright, be gone. No, they're actually keeping him in the group. Not just because the kids are mutants, but I think Marcus is taking a shine to Caitlyn. The kids have obviously earned the respect of the group. I mean, Andy's willing to go in there and sacrifice everything to protect Blink and the whole group. You got Lauren, who pretty much uses her power to basically protect everybody. So, yeah. The Clark family, they've got a nice foothold there. So, Reed should be thankful. I don't see him turning over the X group to Turner. I see him more of either backstabbing Turner or misleading Turner. But I don't see him just flat out saying, okay, here's the group, I'm gone. I don't see that. But another guy apparently is showing up, and I didn't catch his name, but he brought up something. It's Rio. Now, I don't know much about the history of this world, just from what I've seen in movies. The only thing I can think of with Rio is it's very close to whenever Magneto went on a mad crusade to try to find the guy responsible for creating him, and this was in X-Men First Class. So I don't know if that's the association with that, but even so, that was, God, was what, 50 years ago by this timeline? Maybe more? Because, I mean, Bleak shows up in Days of Future Past, but I don't know if she was an adult or a teenager, but that was like 20 years in the future. So I'm not sure entirely what the time frame is right now, but either way, that's 50 or 60 years ago. Nobody was alive back then. Maybe Magneto, but that would make him, what, 80? But, anyway. So, that's going to do a wrap for me. Let me know down below what you think. Alright, first of all, do you think Blink is at fault for anything she did? What was up with that road? I don't know what's going on with it. Did Warpath point out something interesting, or what? Do you think Reed's going to be okay in prison? Do you think Polaris is going to be okay in prison? What's going to happen to the Clark family? Is Lauren and Caitlyn and Andy be okay with this group? Or is Marcus got something up his sleeve? Let me know down below in the comments below. If you like this, give me a big thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe to my page for more content. My name is Metatron Urel. You are watching Nephilim Entertainment. To all you daydreamers and creators out there, keep your heads in the clouds. Peace.